Today we are talking Instagram for real estate. So how to grow your brand awareness and generate leads with Instagram ads. Now, I might be a little biased on today's training for this platform because Instagram happens to be my favorite social media platform. What's everyone's favorite social media platform? What is your choice of the social? Is it Instagram? Is it YouTube? Is it TikTok? Is it Facebook? Is it Threads now? Has anybody signed up for Threads? Twitter? Let's not forget about Twitter. Tracy likes Facebook, IG. Dominique's IG, definitely. Right? Instagram back, and it's changed so much. So I grew to love Instagram when it first came out. I specifically love traveling and exploring different things like that. So that's what caught my attention. Is it's a very visual platform. So for us in real estate, it's a great place for us to showcase our photos, our videos, all of those visuals. Instagram is still one of the very top platforms of choice for consumers. So what I have done is I've gone through and I've updated a lot of updates and stats for Instagram. Of course, I want to go through those with you guys first because I think that it's always important to see, is it still popular? How much engagement are they getting? What different types of content are working for Instagram, right? We know Reels is one of their most recent targets. I gotta move this kitten around. But what types of content is, what consumers are looking for? We know Reels, videos are still very huge, but even static images done in a carousel is one of the most popular that consumers tend to like. Let's see, Thomas, IG, but I'm thinking YouTube might work better for me. I would support that 100%. Tandy likes Facebook, call it Facebook. Okay, so a good mix. Now we know Facebook owns Instagram, or Meta owns Instagram. So one update that's not really Instagram related, but it is because it's an Instagram app, is Threads. I'm not going to go deep into Threads. It's just a new app that came out a few weeks ago. It is by Instagram/Meta. It was created to compete against Twitter. So we know Twitter over the last few years has gone through a roller coaster in terms of their revenue and just usage and engagement and all that stuff. So, Elon is trying to make stuff happen, but Instagram wanted to compete with them, so they developed Threads. And if you already had an Instagram account, all you had to do is just move it. Everything got moved over. Once you went in and actually downloaded Threads and signed in, it would transfer over all of your Instagram in the bio section, not your content, because it's a lot different. It's not necessarily a visual platform, it's more of a conversation piece. So when I see that for real estate, if you choose to do that platform, or you choose to test out that platform, is more of an open conversation, more of education based text where you're asking questions, you're giving information and stats on the process or anything like that. Okay, so it's not going to be a super visual. Now, you can still have photos and videos and posts like that, just like you could on Twitter, but it's more of an engagement and conversation platform. So, you're going to see a lot more comments back and forth, right? More conversation, open discussion type of platform there. Before we dive in, I have some updates on ROC University. So all of and I believe I put it in here. I did. So social media posts are ready to go. So ROC University's social posts that we upload every single month, August, is available. So your social media posts and your social media stories have already been uploaded. Now remember, you can always go to rocuniversity.com, VIP all access. Is this the one that I have? Yes. It's free to log in. If you haven't logged in yet, just try it. It's free. There's a lot of resources in here. You will get instant access, but the August posts have been uploaded and social media stories. So you can go in there and click that link right there and access those. Again, it's a free Canva templates every single month. The newsletter I'm working on to finish today. That should be uploaded. August should be uploaded by end of day today. I just have to finish a couple of things with some stats, and then I will get that uploaded there. And of course, I will post that once it's live in our private Facebook group. But don't forget, you have resources on here. You have things that can make your life easier, or if you just need some ideas for some creativity, come in here, take a look at these posts, use them, don't use them, tweak them, edit them to be yours. But there's a lot of other assets in here that you can take advantage of. So please, 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 if you haven't signed up already, go there and get that instant access. In addition to that, last week I did the Facebook ads training. So if you did not make it to that one, we went through and I have a bunch of different Facebook ads that you can actually use, whether it's home property valuation, downloading a free guide or anything like that. If you wanted to see that training, that's available on our YouTube channel. Again, you just go to rocuniversity.com, click video library. That takes you to our YouTube channel and you can access that training there. But I'm going to paste this in because these can also work as your post or your ads on Instagram that we're going to talk about today. So I will go ahead and share because this has not actually been loaded to ROC University yet. But let me come here, give you guys a template link. And that way you guys have time to go in that chat box and actually click on it. Okay, so those are going to be social media or Instagram based ads. There's a lot more call to action in the text and the copy in the graphic, so they work very nicely for ads. Facebook template link, there we go. Yep, there it is. Awesome. So I just want to make sure everyone got that as well. But let's dive into Instagram, some updates on the different elements of the platform, and then we will actually go through a walkthrough of how to boost or create an ad on your Instagram account. All right, Instagram overview. So Instagram is the 4th most used social media platform in the world. Okay, so it's still very, very relevant. A lot of people on there. Instagram, is the 9th most Googled search term. Facebook, YouTube, and weather all beat out Instagram. So as you can imagine, these terms, weather, especially if you live in Arizona or Nevada, but Instagram is the 9th most Googled search term, right? Just behind Facebook, YouTube, and the word weather. Instagram is also the 8th most visited website in the world. Crazy, right? Number 1 is Google, number 2 is YouTube, and then we have some other social media platforms like Facebook and all that. But Instagram is still in the top 10 most visited website in the world. Instagram is also the most downloaded app in the world. Interesting, right? So depending on what you're looking at in stats, maybe it's the 8th most visited website in the world, but it is the number 1 downloaded app in the world, right? TikTok comes in at 2nd, followed of course by Facebook and WhatsApp. Okay, so know where consumers' attention is or their behavior. Instagram users probably prefer apps more than actual websites. Most people prefer apps over websites in general. Instagram has more than 2 billion active monthly users. Okay, substantial, right? And again, I always like to remind everyone, these are free. Now, ads, of course, cost money, but these platforms are free, right? In these trainings, I like to, we don't have necessarily a physical location. We're not an actual store. The internet is our store, okay? The internet is our business. That's where people come to discover us. That's where we can get in front of people. And you need to think about it as maybe your website is your main location, and then these social media sites or platforms are other locations, right, of advertising or where you could possibly meet new clients. Okay, so remember, the internet is our store. Okay, people are coming in our store. It is the internet. 47% of American adults use Instagram. Users spend an average of 11.7 hours a month on the app. 11.7 hours a month. Okay, do we all get notifications? If you have an iPhone, I think it's on Sundays, we get our weekly watch time or whatever, right? Sometimes it's just, you don't even want to, you don't want to know how much time you're actually spending on these apps or your phone. But Americans spend 30.1 minutes per day on Instagram. That's exactly tied with Facebook, but behind TikTok, YouTube, and Twitter, and Snapchat. And in my opinion, I think that if Instagram got in the video game before TikTok came out or before YouTube got traction, I think Instagram would still be top of the list there, very top of the list. Instagram accounted for 17% of the time US adults spent on social media in 2022. 17%. We are expecting this to grow to 18.6% in 2024. Okay, so just know the reason I put that one in there is it is still growing. Okay, this application, this platform is still growing. So expect that if you're not leveraging Instagram yet in your social media marketing or your business plan, definitely start taking it serious. Instagram has more than 2 billion active monthly users. We already took a look at that. Let's look at some ad stats, right? Because that's the whole point of what we're talking about today. The potential ad audience on Instagram stories is 996 million, meaning that you can reach up to 996 million people. And honestly, you could if you had the money to do it. Costs quite a bit of money, but you have the potential, right? You have this entire audience that you can target market to and grow your brand awareness as an agent in your market, right? Become more aware. I talked about it last week. Think of social media ads or internet ads and internet in general as a way of digital farming. Okay, so we know physical farming is those postcards, those mailers that are going out, but think of it as digital farming. You have to have your footprint on the internet so you can become discoverable. One, that's where consumer attention is. Two, it's a lot more cost effective. You can reach thousands of more people than you could than sending out a postcard. Even EDDM is expensive when you do it on a macro level. The potential ad audience on Reels, okay, do we all know what Reels are? It's the video version of TikTok for Instagram. Well, the ad audience for Reels alone is 758 million users, right? And then also people reshare Reels 1 billion times a day through DMs. Okay, so you're watching a reel, you think it's funny, you think it's informative, and you're sharing it through a DM to your friends, family, whoever it may be. 35% of Instagram users will make a purchase on the platform in 2023. Okay, we don't necessarily sell an item as our business, right? Our service is real estate. So, but I wanted to include this because I want you guys to understand that people are taking action on these platforms. They are being triggered by, trust. I did a post today on my Instagram. Trust equals revenue. When you build trust on these platforms, specifically Instagram, they are more apt to reach out to you and be able to, reach out to you and ask you more about your services or actually use you as an agent in your market. Okay, 35% of Instagram users are willing to make a purchase on that platform. Imagine how many people are willing to actually hire you as a service. And that's just behind Facebook and TikTok, both of which will see a purchase percentage of 37%. So you can see very similar. We are seeing a lot of purchase activity or action-enabled activity on these platforms. And 61% of Instagram's advertising audience is age 18 to 34. Okay. Something in the chat box. Can you give the link again? Yes. I'm going to copy. I'm going to paste it. And hopefully you see it there. Hashtags. Let's talk about hashtags. So how many hashtags should you use? Well, the days of using all 30 are done. Okay, so that is not relevant anymore to the algorithms. Okay, hashtags are not ranked heavily in the algorithms anymore. So 5 to 10 relevant hashtags is a good base. All right. Now remember, I've talked about micro and macro hashtags before. If you haven't been on the call or heard me say that before, what I mean by that is micro hashtags are local to your geographic location. Okay, so Phoenix real estate, Las Vegas real estate, Flagstaff real estate, Flagstaff realtor, right? All those different terms, but you have a local geographic location on there, right? Macro means real estate, right? That could be global. And the reason being is because you want to make sure that you are getting engagement, you're getting a nice reach, right? You're playing the algorithms game. But the whole point of all of this work that we're putting into these is to meet new clients. So if you're just doing a global hashtag, right? Real estate, HGTV, hashtag happy, right? All those different hashtags in there because it helps you get in front of more people. However, the whole point of all of this is to get yourself in front of more local people or consumers who will use your service. Okay. So please do not post something and do all 30 hashtags. You still want to, 5 to 10 micro and macro. And I always get the question, where do I put these hashtags? Please, please, please do not put them in comments. Comments are not searchable on virtually all platforms, okay? The algorithm does not take into account things that are in your comments, okay? So put your hashtags in your caption. They look fine. There's a period of time where we started putting them in comments because we thought it looked better, right? But put them in your caption. Captions are swept in the algorithm. Captions are searchable terms, okay? Searchable terms. Comments are not in searchable terms. So keep your hashtags in your caption. And that's relevant for Facebook too. And to piggyback on that, links. So last week in our Facebook ads class, we talked about links in your post. Avoid putting links as much as you can in your captions, especially on Facebook. Links aren't clickable on Instagram either, but if you missed last week, I wanted to just give you guys that tip. Do not put links as much as you can in your actual post or your caption, because these platforms want users to stay on their platforms for as long as possible. So if you're driving traffic away from the platform, you will, I don't want to say get shadow banned, but your reach will become a lot less. So we know that Facebook's average reach for an organic post, meaning just a post that you made, like today I made a training post. Reminder, there's still time to register for today's training, okay? I put the link in the comments because posts that have posts in general, organic posts in general, get 2 to 4% reach. Remember way back in the day when algorithms necessarily didn't exist because they were just starting out, and you saw everyone's post, it was chronological order. And now these algorithms put posts in front of you that they think is most relevant. Okay, so it's not chronological order, it's most relevant. And if you're adding, and so that reaches 2.2 to 4% in an organic post. Okay, so put those links in the comments. Now, if you put a link in the post, that 2 to 4% goes virtually less than 1%. Okay, so just a tip there. Now, that's not true when you're doing a Facebook ad or an Instagram ad. Okay, because you're paying for the ad, they're not gonna condense your reach on that because you're paying money. Your organic posts, though, that have links in them, your reach will be reduced. And then what hashtag should I use? We already talked about this, right? Local relevant hashtags in your niche. Don't use too many broad hashtags. Get specific, okay? Get specific to who your audience is. Who's your ideal audience? Check the chat. Tracy said, no one ever sees my post when I have a link. It's very true. That's because they are penalizing you because you're trying to drive traffic away from the platform. Put the link in the comments, see if that helps a little bit. Or say, check my link in the bio or whatever it is, right? You might be able to do something like that. But it's very, very true that links in those posts or captions do get penalized. No, Thomas, you should do links in stories. So Thomas said, should we not do links in stories? No, you should do links in stories. That's okay. That's okay. Yep, you can't put links. Those are not going to be penalized per se, right? Because everyone that follows you will see your story at the top, okay? So that's just whoever you follow will show those in there. So stories are kind of a subset from what we're talking about there. So you can use the links in stories, and I actually do recommend. Good questions. Any other questions on hashtags or links or anything like that? Anything you guys have been seeing? Hey, Buzz, just checking to see who else has jumped on. Jocelyn, hello, hello. Vegas, Kelly's on. Hey, Kelly, Lucinda, Paulette, good to see you guys. Awesome. All right. Instagram Live. Ooh, everyone's starting to sweat. I've been trying to get everyone to go live at least once a month. But I know it's like going live is more nerve-wracking than recording a video, and I get it because it's live, right? No going back. But roughly 20% or 1 in 5 Instagram users watch an IG live stream. Okay, so 20% of your followers would watch an IG live stream. Why is live great? One, everyone that follows you gets notified that you just went live. So if you're at an open house or a listing appointment or wherever, and you go live, right? Everyone's going to get notified. Okay. Instagram Live use surged 70% during the 2020 pandemic lockdown in the US, and it has remained steady. Right? The pandemic really pushed a lot of technology forward. Okay. Video being one of them. And IG Reels or Instagram Reels aren't far behind, with 91% of users saying they watch videos weekly. 91% of users saying they watch videos weekly, which means roughly, 455 million people. Okay. So again, 91% of users saying they watch videos weekly. When are we going to start producing video content? Okay. That's what we ask yourself that. How do you consume content? Would you prefer watching a video than reading a blog article? Not saying that you shouldn't do blog articles, because SEO is still very much alive and real, but you should definitely start incorporating videos in there. You guys don't even have to be in the videos, right? You can create content or video content that is educational, and you're not necessarily in the video. If you're in the video, it's even better, but just start with it. Live video streaming is the 4th most popular video content type. 4th most popular video content type, as opposed to a static video, meaning it's not live, Reels, TikToks, things like that. 4th most popular. We should start adopting things that are popular, things that consumers want in their business or in your business. All right, Instagram Reels. Hopefully we all know what Reels are, right? Reels came out after TikTok because they wanted to compete with TikTok. After Reels came out, YouTube was, at the same time developing YouTube Shorts. Okay, so these short form video content is insanely popular right now. That is what we're all consuming. But you can now record up to 90 seconds of video for your reel. 15, 30, 60 seconds, and 90 seconds are your options. Instagram users watch 17.6 million hours of Reels per day. It's just crazy how much we consume, right? Reels is beating TikTok in terms of adoption. Meaning people adopting to it, people starting to use it. Okay, it's beating TikTok. Reels get the most reach out of all Instagram content types. Okay, so when we talk about boosting posts or creating ads on Instagram today, Reels are the #1 pieces of content that's pushed in the algorithm. Okay, so naturally, even if you don't run an ad for a reel, your reels will still get a lot of engagement and a lot of views, most likely, because that is the most heavily weighted content in the platform. So if you post a reel for the first time, or when you first posted a reel for the first time, you probably noticed that you got quite a bit of views, okay? Because that is what's being pushed. So in terms of reach, reels are clearly outperforming other Instagram content types, such as carousels, which are static images that there's multiple static images. You can swipe to the right, which is a huge, it's probably second to third piece of content that's consumed or loved by consumers. Image posts, right? Just static images or just regular videos that you upload. And it's noted that reels actually work or are more powerful. You're able to get more reach when you have a smaller account. Okay, so you don't need to be an influencer that has millions of followers or hundreds of thousands of followers or even thousands of followers, because accounts up to 500 followers were shown to boast an average reach rate of 892%, which is pretty phenomenal. Okay, So when you're looking at your Instagram account, yes, we should be growing our audience. We should be getting out there more, right? The more people that's following us, the more chance that it's a numbers game, right? The more chance that someone's going to reach out, or we're going to be able to connect with somebody and actually do business with. But don't think that you have to have millions of followers or hundreds of thousands of followers or even tens of thousands or thousands of followers, right? Because it tells us that lower accounts, lower follower accounts actually garner a better reach rate with Reels. All right, any questions so far? I always like to give those updates and stats because I think it helps kind of connect the dots and maybe inspires you to take action, okay? All right, I'm gonna share my screen on my phone. Let me check the chat, make sure everything is good. All right, so we're gonna walk through. It's fairly simple, the walkthrough. It's not gonna take very long. But let me share my screen. See if it doesn't. I stop this share. All right. Searcher, yes. Okay. All right. Let me check chat real quick. Just want to be sure. Tracy, what's up? Tracy has a question.
Hi. Okay, I have a question.
Oops, I think you muted. Tracy, I think you muted.
Of course I did.
There you go.
Okay, so sorry. So if I make here's my question. If I make a TikTok video and share it on Instagram, does that get the same effect as an Instagram reel, or would it be better to do it two separate ones? What's better?
In an ideal world, probably two separate ones. Because sometimes that if a piece of content is created on a different platform, right? All these platforms are very selfish, okay?
Yeah.
As they probably, they're a business. So sometimes they will shadow ban, or you will just get less views per se, or they won't push it out as much. If they know, because all this stuff is like, there's breadcrumbs, right? There's tracking and all that stuff, right? So sometimes it may not get pushed out as much. Me personally, and a lot of agents I've talked to, doesn't have a huge effect. So what I would suggest is, if you're going to create content, because I'm all about bulk creating content, and if you can create one piece and use it on all of them, gold, right? Because we don't have enough time to doing a unique piece for everything. So what I would suggest is, yes, if you're going to film it on TikTok or YouTube Shorts or Reels, and you're going to save it and then do it to another platform, test it. If you notice that it is getting less reach than those that you're organically creating on that platform, then you may have to come up with a strategy to allow yourself enough time to, create content for each one. And maybe it's the same piece of content, you're just re-recording it on the native app, as opposed to recording on one and then sharing it to all the rest. But in my experience, I haven't seen a huge decrease in reach that would make me suggest no. But everyone's accounts are different. So Tracy, I would just suggest trying it, doing it. And if you notice that your reach has gone down, then I would go back to just doing it natively on the app. And the other thing is I would suggest to limit the music that's behind you if you guys are going to do that, because a lot of times one platform has copyright and licensing rights to certain songs that may not be available on other platforms. And if you're uploading that, you may get not banned, but you may be in violation and get a violation for that platform, and your account could end up getting deleted.
Okay, thank you.
Of course. Paulette, will all of this work the same on an Android phone? I think so, yes. Right, so the app should look basically the same. You're going to let me know when I show you, because I'm on an iPhone, so you're going to let me know. But I do know that on YouTube, the app on YouTube, some items are different from iPhone to Android. So there might be slight differences, but shouldn't be huge. Everything that we're going to talk about should still be there. But let me know, those Android users that are on the call, who you are, first of all. No, but let me know if you see something different. All right, so here we go. We have 4,000 social media platforms now, right? Feels like that way. But you're going to go into your Instagram, all right, and we're going to use happy birthday to Jacqueline Baker. She's our Scottsdale escrow officer. So it's her birthday today. But we're going to go in, and a couple things that we need to do first. One is to connect your Facebook account if you haven't already done it. And two, to make sure that your Instagram account is a business account or creator, one of them, right? Business or creator. And the reason is one, you're going to get a lot more analytics and you're going to have a lot more options when it comes to advertising and boost. I'm back. Did you guys lose me for a second? All right, try to hurry because we don't want connection loss like we had in Havasu. All right, so hopefully everyone can see the screen. So a couple of things first. In the lower right corner here, you see the little ROC logo, lower right corner. I'm going to click that. It's going to take me to the page. If you don't follow us yet, please do me a favor and go follow us. It's just ROC, ROC_University. Or you can just search ROC University. And on your main page here, in the upper right corner, you're going to see 3 lines. You're going to click those 3 lines. All right, we have some options here, but we're going to click on settings and privacy. And then we're going to click on account center. So we are making sure it's connected to a Facebook account. Doesn't have to be a business page for this one. It could be your personal account, but it has to be connected to an account. A lot of times it already is if you go in here and see it, but it has to be connected to account. So you're going to click on account center right there at the top. And Paulette, let me know if this looks different. This is to connect your Facebook account. And then after this, I'm going to show you how to change it to a business or a creator account. But yes, I do recommend turning it to a business or a creator account. So from here, you can see I already have some profiles added. Okay. If you needed to add account, yours will look different than mine, but you can click add accounts. Okay. So I'm going to go back. Paulette said it's a little different. So those Android users, hopefully you still see something similar on the screen. But remember, I'm going to go all the way back here for you guys. Okay. I'm on my page. When you first log in, you're going to be on your home, right? You see your feed. Okay. Lower right corner, you're going to click your logo or your photo. Now 3 lines, upper right corner. And then settings and privacy up there at the top. And then from here, you're going to click Accounts Center. Okay, and then here we have, this is where you can connect all your accounts. All right, so I'm going to click Profiles. You see mine shows 2 here. And then you click Add Account, and that's where you can add your account. Right? It's super easy. Just click Connect, and it connects it. All right. Now, if you want to, and I recommend, if you have a personal Instagram, to turn it for your business, right? If this is where you're going to post all your real estate stuff, you're in the day of a life, all that kind of stuff, I would recommend doing a business or creator account because you will get a lot more insights and you have a lot more options. So to do that, I'm going to go back. See, this is our main page, remember? I'm going to click Edit Profile now under Professional Dashboard. From here, you're going to see, oh, I'm sorry, not that one. That's for in a little bit. I'm going to go back to my 3 lines up here. And I'm going to click Settings and Privacy again. Now, you may show something. You see where it says Professionals, Business Tools, and Controls? You may see something that says Switch to Professional or Switch to Creator Accounts on this right there, okay? If you do, you're going to click that and you're going to have the ability to change or switch accounts here towards the bottom. You see where it says Switch Account Type? Okay, you can switch account type. Now, when I click that, it gives me the option to switch to a personal account or a creator account. I would go with the business/professional, okay? But you can do creator as well. I would do professional or business, okay? Gives you a little bit more targeting options. Okay, so that's how you would switch your account type. All right. Once you connect your Facebook page or your Facebook account and then a business page, you turn it into a business account. All right. You get a lot more options. Of course, now you have a professional dashboard. You can edit your profile. You have a lot more options. You're going to click your category. I believe real estate is one. Yep. See, real estate's one of your categories. I'd probably choose that one. Okay. SEO, we want the algorithms and everyone to know what type of account you have or what service you are. I do education for ROC U because it's obviously education. But I would do real estate for yours. Of course, it needs to have your bio and all that stuff. You want to make sure it's all optimized, all that good stuff. But the key here is once you have your Facebook connected, step one, and then it's a business account, step two, then we can go in and start looking at boosting these posts or running these ads. Yes. So Kelly said, I learned that with a creator account, I can use more popular music when making a reel. So if you want those options in there, you do get some more of the popular. Who's heard Miley Cyrus Flowers 4 million times now? Okay. Right. So you get options to get more of the popular music on there. Again, business, professional, or creator, either one, whichever one that you want to go with. Paulette says, hers says business. So an Android business or personal, go with the business. Go with the business. Once you guys do that, now you can go in and boost a post. Okay, you probably heard of that from Facebook before, or you can run an ad for one of your posts here. Now you can run ads on your static posts, you can run ads on your reels. Okay, meaning that you're going to get this content out there more, right? We're going to target an audience. I'm going to focus on a static post because maybe not a lot of people create reels yet. You should, but I will show you it's virtually the same process that you can for any post that you're doing here. You can virtually create a boost or an ad for any post that you're creating. So if I go through here and I find something that I want to boost or run an ad on, you're going to select it. So let's say you guys are doing a post for a new listing. Or you're going to take one of those ads that I showed you, one of those templates that I gave you guys earlier in the call, and you're going to do download my ebook or get your instant property valuation or anything like that. Whatever you guys are going to post on there, you can run an ad for. So you have to decide what you're going to boost or what you're going to run an ad on. What piece of content? Is it your latest post? Is it your latest reel? Okay, I selected reel by the little play button there. Okay, I'm going back and forth, right? Or is it one of your reels? Okay, so you're going to find the piece of content that you actually want to boost. Once we are in there, so I'm going to choose this one. Once we are in there, you're going to see a couple of things. View insights on the left-hand side, where you can actually see insights of that organic post. Okay, no ads have been ran on this. Okay, this is just an organic post. You can see reach, more information, right? How many profile visits did that post give us? And then of course we see add boost this post. So you can either click here to boost this post, or there's the boost post button next to it. And it's virtually next to everything that you guys post. Okay. Once you switch your accounts over, it's virtually going to be on every post that you guys create or add to the platform. So let's say this is the post that I'm going to boost. I'm going to click boost. You're going to select a goal. So let's talk about the goals. More profile visits, probably going to be the most popular, the biggest one that I would say to do, right? Get people to explore content on your profile. More website visits, that's going to be probably second, okay? And then more messages. I probably wouldn't do more messages, but I will show you guys that under the more profile visits options, there's an option to accept messages. So virtually it's kind of 2 in 1. That's why I would do the profile visits. Again, this is going to help grow your brand awareness. In addition to just organically posting, okay, we're making social media posts all the time, right? We're using appropriate hashtags. We're providing valuable information. and we're letting the algorithm do its thing, okay, well, that's one way to grow your brand awareness. But if you want to supersize it, per se, in an economical way, we talked about digital farming before, okay, it's a lot more cost effective to digitally farm this way than it is to send letters, postage, all that stuff. I'm not saying don't do that, okay? You've obviously, if you've been in my trainings before, I've talked about direct mail and how powerful that can be. But if you want to be budget conscious or just more economically friendly, this is a great way to reach a lot more people than what you could sustain in direct mail. All right, so profile visits get people to explore content on your profile. I'm going to click on that, and you're going to notice an edit link in the left below on the left side there. Okay, and when I click that, this is what I was saying. You can add a banner to your profile to message. A send message link will be added in a banner at the bottom of your profile while your ad is active. This is a great opportunity for those that are interested or curious to reach out to you. Okay, so I would select that because again, like I said, it's like a 2-in-1. Okay, so when your ad is running, and I'll show you guys in the preview, when the ad is running and they click view profile, that send message banner will appear only when this is checked and the ad is active. Okay, if you're going to do more website visits, you're going to click edit. You have an option. What website do you want to drive traffic to? So let's talk about certain different ads. So maybe you're running an ad to, similar to last week on the Facebook ads. Maybe you're doing a call to action for an instant property valuation, or to download your neighborhood guide, or your relocation guide, or something like that. Okay, this is where you're going to paste in that link. So if I'm promoting get your property valuation to people that live in Phoenix, Arizona, Las Vegas, Nevada, or Flagstaff, or wherever you're at, okay, you want to be able to drive that traffic to, maybe it's your HomeBot link you're putting in there, or maybe your website alone has an option for an instant property valuation. Okay, so that's where you're going to add your website. Action button. What do you want the button to say? Right, so this is going to show in the ad. Do you want it to say to learn more? Shop now, probably. I mean, you maybe could use that for properties. Maybe you're doing an ad for, here's homes in Gilbert, Arizona, with pools, or, whatever it may be, okay, under a certain price, something like that. Shop more may work for that, okay? Watch more, maybe you're doing a video, and then you're going to drive traffic to your YouTube channel, or maybe your website as a video page, right? So maybe watch more of that. Contact us, a little bit weaker, in my opinion. Book now. Maybe if you're going to promote a buyer consultation free or something like that, and then sign up. Maybe you have a newsletter, right? A local newsletter. Maybe you're running these ads for a specific, let's just say Gilbert again, and you update all of those people on that newsletter list or that list on everything that's happening in Gilbert. Maybe anything like that. Paulette said adding the URL directs them to a different site. I thought that was frowned upon. It's frowned upon for organic posts. When it turns into an ad, they don't care. They're getting money, right? That's the difference. So if you go on Facebook right now and you just do a regular post saying, hey, I'm in this training right now, go to ROCuniversity.com, okay? Your reach will become smaller because that link is in there. But when you're running an ad, they don't care because they're getting paid, okay? So they're obviously giving us the opportunity for a call to action or a URL. Does that make sense? So if you're paying for an ad, the link or the URL doesn't matter. That's not going to hurt you. If it's an organic post, that's where your reach is going to become less, okay? All right, so those are options for website. More messages. What you download your WhatsApp, and it's just a little bit more complicated. So I probably wouldn't do it because it's not a strong enough call to action to me. I'm spending money on this, so I want to measure this better. You can do message, it's up to you, okay? Number one would be profile visits, and very right next to it would be website visits. Both are very, very good. All right, so let's do more profile visits. I clicked edit, we're toggled on. And now I'm going to click next. I'm going to try it. Sorry guys, you got to see me twice. Next. All right. Let's talk about special requirements. Very similar to what we talked about on Facebook. So remember, we are very limited in our industry on what we can target. It's true for Facebook, and it's the same exact thing for Instagram and virtually most platforms that we're on. I even think LinkedIn limits us as well, but it's because we used to be able to target demographics that go against or violate our equal housing and all that stuff, okay? So what I recommend in HGTV here, I was just doing an example for another agent, but what I recommend is, see where it says automatic? I do not recommend that. I do not recommend that. We follow and agents follow. So we follow a lot of agents and agents follow us. Okay. So if you're going to have Instagram create an ad that targets people like your followers, you are now targeting other agents. Okay. So do not do automatic. However, what I want you guys to do, and what I've noticed, and it could be a glitch on my phone, or maybe it's iPhone and it doesn't do it on Android, but when I go, before I create my audience, you see where it says create your own audience? If I go, before I did the HGTV one there, if I go here and I choose our industry, okay, so housing, you see housing there? You choose housing, I click done, and before, you see how it says automatic selected? If I didn't have HGTV there, I wouldn't be able to actually create an audience. Okay, pretend HGTV isn't there. All right, so if I go and I choose my special requirements category first, my custom audience goes away if I didn't already create one. So what I'd recommend is before you choose a special category, see how create your own came back? Go in and choose your audience first, then go back and do your special requirement. Meaning, if I click on create your own audience, we now have this. Okay, audience name, locations, interests, age and gender. You're going to stay away from age and gender. Okay, you're going to stick with locations and interests. Those are going to be your two things, because age and gender is going to automatically go away when we check that special requirements. So if I go in and do audience name, and I'm going to say Gilbert property valuation, okay? So for this example, we're going to pretend, I know it's on ROC U's, but we're going to pretend that we're taking one of those graphics, or your post is talking about the stats or the closed sales or some type of activity that's happening in that market in Gilbert, and you're driving traffic to a property valuation. Okay, so your ad needs to match whatever your post message is. Because if I did a post message for ROC University post right now, talking about 51% website traffic, whatever it is, and my ads talking about Gilbert property valuation, they don't even match, right? Doesn't even make sense. Or maybe it's going to be Gilbert new listing, because you're promoting a new listing that's going on. Or maybe you're promoting an open house, something like that. Okay, needs to be relevant and match whatever your post is that you're posting. So step one would be to go in and do your post. Okay, you have your photo, you have your video, you're doing a carousel, you're doing a reel. You click, you do your caption, right? You do your little hashtags, everything you normally would when you're doing a post. When you're done posting, then you click on that boost, and then that's when you come into here, okay? And you start targeting certain areas. So I'm going to say Gilbert new listing. Locations, I'm probably going to choose Gilbert. It gives you the option for regional or local. Local, you can have current location on, and it'll take you to your current location, okay? Or address for a specific, and then you can do radius based on that, okay? I like to be a little bit more specific, so I'm going to go to regional, and I'm going to type in Gilbert. Okay, and just a reminder, Facebook, you can't necessarily use zip code, but in this you can. So if you want to do a specific zip code, you can. So I'm going to do Gilbert, just because I like the city better. If I can spell it. Gilbert. Okay. Come on. It's freezing on me. All right, so we have Gilbert, Arizona. Our potential is 126 to 148. Estimated audience says it's great, which is awesome. If you wanted to add multiple, you can. Tempe is right next. You can certainly do that. It goes way up. Okay, maybe you also wanted to target your surrounding areas. Okay, also do Chandler if you wanted to. Wherever you are. Okay, just know that you can add multiple locations in there. If you already selected housing, good question. Heidi said, if I already selected housing, how do I go back to create my own? You're gonna have to go back into where you selected that and uncheck it. All you're gonna do is tap it again. And I'll show you that right here. So if I go back, okay, and I did special requirements, say I did housing. Okay, and then I was like, oh, I didn't mean to do that. You're just gonna go back into special requirements, uncheck that, click done, and then now create your own appears. Okay. So I'm going to go back to create your own audience name, Gilbert, new listing, locations. I'm just going to do Gilbert, but I just wanted to make sure you guys knew that you could do multiple locations if you wanted to. Okay. I'm going to click done in the upper right corner. So we have our audience name, Gilbert new listing, locations, wherever we're going to promote it, right? What locations we want to. And again, this can work for feeder markets as well, guys, just like what we talked about last week. So if you wanted to target California, Oregon, Washington, Colorado, right? All those places that we know are moving here, you can certainly do that too for feeder markets. Maybe it's a relocation guide you're promoting. Could be cool. All right. Interest. Remember, age and gender is going to go away, so don't even bother with that. Interest. This is where you can get a little bit more local. So I had typed in, or for people that are just interested in real estate in general. Typically, I just do location. Okay, I see a great enough ROI and traffic on that. But what's interesting is you can suggest this ad in front of people that have an interest based on something you type in here. So I could just type in home just for anything, right? Better Homes and Garden magazine, things that people maybe have, maybe things that consumers do or consume without own a home. For instance, Zillow, Realtor.com, right? These big brands. If you want this ad to show in front of those that follow those accounts or have interest in those brands, it could really more pinpoint your target audience. Okay, because who's interested in Zillow, right? People that are buying homes, people that are selling homes. Okay, who's interested in Realtor.com? Same thing. So if you're going to talk about interest, you're going to include interest on here. Make sure that it makes sense. Okay, I'm probably not going to put Tony Robbins unless I'm putting out, some type of motivational piece or something like that, right? Specific to our industry, we can target things that, see if Realtor.com, right? Realtor.com. Okay. So I would, if you're going to choose interest, you can test it out and see. Okay. Each market's different. You can test it out and see, but just try to think of it as, does it make sense for my ideal audience? Would my ideal audience have interest in that brand or company? And would that translate to me as well, right? Because you're part of that. So let's say I do Zillow. Let's see what that gives us number-wise. Okay, so we're getting a little bit more targeted, 88 to 103, went down slightly, but that's okay. Just because it goes down doesn't mean it's a bad thing. We're narrowing down our target market and audience. It's just like what I talked about, hashtags, micro and macro, for targeting that specific audience. So I'm going to click done. So now we have Gilbert new listing, Gilbert, Arizona, interest. If they have an interest in Zillow, that could be added in there as well. Age and gender is going to be removed. I'm going to click done. Define your audience. Okay, so we have our audience here, Gilbert new listing. Now I'm going to go in here and click special requirements, choose housing. And you see that it's still checked. Okay, So, and just know that it says men and women ages 18 and plus, because it's going to go 18 to 65. It's going to go the maximum it can go, because that's the default, because we selected that special requirements. So just remember that if you go in and create these and you choose that and it says automatic targeting, you do not want to do that at all, because again, it's going to target whoever follows you. It's going to mimic that. And who follows us all? Mainly a lot, realtors, right? We don't want to advertise to them. All right, so Gilbert, new listing. I'm going to click next, and then we get to the money. Okay, so what's your budget? Again, I would start with $5 a day at minimum. You can always go higher, but it came up on the call last week. I'd start at $5 minimum. Ad duration. How long do you want the ad to go? 7 days I have found to be good to have an understanding of who is interacting with this ad. Okay, so you're going to get demographics, right? We can't target demographics, but they give us demographics. You're going to get demographics on, who's watching or clicking on your ad and interacting with it. So I do $5 minimum. If you have a bigger budget, you can. Okay, but again, digital farming. Can you potentially reach 5,300 people for $35 with a postcard? Right? Unlikely. 5,300 people for $35. Now, social media ads, with all great things, eventually it just gets more and more expensive. So it's gotten more expensive. 2 years ago, this would have been half that, or you would have got double the reach, right? So it does get a little bit more expensive over time, but it's still relatively inexpensive compared to what we could do with our traditional marketing. Okay, so $5 a day, run this ad until I pause it. Whoops. Run this ad until I pause it or set duration. So if you do that, the ad's just going to continuously run until you tell it to stop. Okay, so your estimated daily reach is 290 to 760. I don't recommend that because we are so busy, just like subscriptions we sign up for and we're like, oh yeah, I'm going to cancel before the free trial, and then we forget. Okay, so in 6 months you forgot that you're running this ad, and all of a sudden you have $3,000 in a bill. Okay, so set duration, 7 days is a good amount of time to see the data. You're going to click next. Review your ad. So your estimated reach is 16 to 4,300 accounts. You can preview your ad by clicking preview. It's going to run on 4 different content types for Instagram. So feed, of course, if I click feed, right? When somebody's scrolling on their phone, it's going to show up in their feed. We've all seen that. See where it says sponsored underneath ROC University? That's how you know it's an ad. And that's the button you get. Visit Instagram profile. Okay. Shows your post. If you wanted preview story, this is what it looked like in the story. And apologies if this looks very dark for you guys. I'm in dark mode. I know some people don't like dark mode, but that's why it looks so dark. So this is what the ad would look like in a story. Okay. And it has a call to action button there to go. Now, explore page, right? Where you're searching, you see the explore page, you're just going through and looking. Your piece of content would be here, and all the blank spots would just be the organic pieces of content in your explore feed. Okay, so you have the option to be able to be visible there, which is great. And then reels, of course, it's going to look like this, just like a reel. Even if this is a static post and somebody's in the reels and they're scrolling through and they're watching these reels, this can still pop up. Okay. So those are your previews that you can take. Ad format and preferences at the bottom, don't worry about. The default checks is what you should do. Those are good. I'm going to go back. Under preview ad, you have your ad goal. We have our audience. It's giving you a preview of what you chose. Budget, 35 over 7 days. And then your payment. So if you need to add a payment, if you don't have a card already in there, you just have to go and it'll say add payment or add card. You can add it in there. Or if you need to change it for any reason, you click change. And then from there, it just says ads are reviewed 24 hours. Some cases it may take longer. Within 15 minutes, very similar to Facebook, you should be up and going if you selected the housing thing correctly, right? Don't forget to go back and select that because your ad will get denied because it will know that you're in the housing industry. So make sure to do that. Usually 15 minutes, you're boosted, you're up and going. and then you can go there. And then you just click boost. I'll just go back and pause this because it doesn't make sense for this. It says, nice work, your ad is in review. Most ads are reviewed within 24 hours. You click OK. And you notice it says pending approval there. So if I click pending approval, I'm now back to this. Okay. And this is where you can go back to start seeing the stats and everything. Okay. So towards the bottom, you can manage it. And you see learn more, and it'll start telling you all that stuff. And once it's boosted, you'll be able to see ad insights. So remember, this is boosted. I'm going to click pending approval. Once it's approved, it'll say boosted. Towards the bottom of that, you're just going to scroll down and click view insights. Once it's boosted, you're going to start getting a bunch of stats and tons of stuff. Cost, clicks, your ROI, all that kind of stuff going through. Okay. So that's where you can review it. And that is how you go through and create or boost an ad on Instagram. Any questions, guys? This is a lot easier, in my opinion, than a Facebook ad. Was I wrong or right? Hey, Tim. Tim jumped on. Seeing who else? Sharon, hello, hello. Chris, Judy. Any questions, guys? Do we feel confident that we could boost a post or run an Instagram ad? Any questions on the phone part before I close that out? Thanks, Jamie. Awesome. So I'm going. Dominique said no questions here, a lot easier than Facebook. I agree. So I'm going to stop sharing that. That's going to go back to me. I'm going to share screen. We will go back here. I think that's all I had. Questions there. Now, just remember that tomorrow I will have ROC University's August training schedule up on the site. So you can always go to rocuniversity.com. And did I share that? Yeah. And it will be loaded here. Title Pro 247 is a new tool that we have adopted. We'll be replacing Title Toolbox. It's an awesome platform. The data is amazing, best in the industry. So that training will be August 3rd. So keep an eye out for that. So all those property profiles you guys request from us, or any farming list or anything like that, you will have the same access that we do on that 24/7. So you'll be able to access that 24/7. So that training will be August 3rd. We have Troy back. I know he did the HVAC class last month. That was asked to come back again to do that. So that'll be towards the end of August. We got some list reports training that's going to happen in August as well. So we are halfway through the year, guys. Let's take a look at our business. Are we reaching our goals? Are we not quite there yet? What are we lacking on? What's something that we need to schedule time with ourselves to make sure that we start implementing so that we can finish this last half of the year very strong and prepare for what I can't believe 2024, right? It's insane. Any questions on branding, marketing, anything in general before I let you guys go? Cool. I appreciate you guys so much. I really, really do. And hopefully we see you in escrow very soon. Other than that, we will see you guys in the next training. Have a great weekend, everyone.